Reverend Rob Lee. Bold, smart, and straight to the point. This is Tarot with an Attitude.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Tarot with an Attitude. I am your host, the Reverend Rob Lee. Wow, bangarang, the tribe is coming in. My tribe, my peoples, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your life, of listening, giving me an hour of your time, and some of you 3 hours of your time. I appreciate that very much. Miss Cynthia, thank you for all that you do. Yachty, yes, Yachty, when I get to your question here in a minute, Gillian just posted a thing. Pick a number between 1 and 3. We're going to do something a little different tonight, but we're going to have fun doing it. And you're going to get 2 different cards, but I need to know a number between 1 and 3, and we'll see what's now. Okay, Yachty's going with 3. Great. And Deborah, bangarang, glad you're here. Good to see you. Everybody coming in. Things are happening. Let's see what's going on. So, to the all, to our Heavenly Father, to that divine mother, that divine feminine, to the gods, the goddess, we say thank you. To the universe, just pour your blessings out upon us. We are going to start tonight by saying put a circle of protection and a circle of light around anyone that enters this room. Do not allow anything that is not of light, of spirit, or for our higher good to be present in this room or to allow it to approach. Angels, I'm putting you on guard. Guides, step in close. And as always, Spirit, make sure that the messages that come through you and that not of me. So again, we say thank you for everything that you've done, everything that you're going to do, and thank you for all. So mote it be. All right, so let's see what's going on. All right, and see what's happening. So Dottie was asking a question. Where was it? There it is. Boom. Okay. I'm going to feed the baby. I'm feeling emotional defeated. You know what? We all get there sometimes, Yachty. There's nothing to be ashamed of about that. It's when we live in it, okay? So the question is, may I ask, will I land a great job in July? So one of the purposes I wanted to do, we're going to do kind of a pick a card thing. And I thought the easiest way to do it was just like this. You tell me, but you're going to get 2 cards, all right? So I'm shuffling the deck. I am using the Sun and Moon deck. That one of the first decks I ever owned is going to be going tonight. So Yachty wants to know, she's feeling defeated. Will she land a great job in July? So here we go. I'm going to cut the deck. Let's start here. Boop. Let's get over here. Cut the deck after the shuffle. And now what I'm going to do is go 1, 2, and here is this card for you. 8 of Cups, indolence. What we're talking about is there something you're hanging on to that you need to let go of. This is saying for you, and Spirit is trying to tell you emotionally, there is something you need to walk away from. And I don't know what that is. And we'll talk about that a little more. We will find out. So I'm going to go with there as your base card. And then I'm going to go ahead and say the 10 of Wands. You're worrying about things. And what I'm feeling like I'm getting here, Yachty, is that you're worried about things and therefore you're manifesting the negative. You're too worried about not achieving. Okay. Does that make sense? The form of what am I going to do if it's not going to happen? You have to live in this moment like it's already happened. Start giving thanks for that to take place. And that's what I'm seeing so far here, Yachty, for you on this. Now, what I'm going to do here tonight, we're going to turn those back over. I'll mix them back in. But now I'm also using, all right, messages from your animal spirit guides by Stephen D. Farmer. We're going to shuffle and again, go 3 cards and find out what happens there. And you're going to love the way these cards are worded. These cards are great. I love them. All right. And let's find out what spirit animal do you need through this situation? What do you need to draw power from? And let's find that out. Okay. So here we go. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and we are going to turn this card over. And guess what? We have the manatee, and the manatee accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. So this to me is talking about, and see the manatee in the water, and the water is always talking to me about emotions. And Yadi, what this is saying, relax, go with the flow. Okay. The manatee is there, and it in the Aborigine or native, it is dugong is the actual name of the manatee. We growing up, it was a sea cow, okay, being from the South, but the manatee is here. And when you take that, when you look at that original card we have and you match it with this, that 8 of cups, accept the situation as it is rather than fighting to change it. Make sure that whatever this battle is that's going on, like I said, thank you, Spirit, for the message, that you're not creating your own waves. You're not creating your own problem. Relax, trust Spirit, trust you, know your power, and you're going to be able to come through this. So latch on to that manatee spirit. And again, look, the biggest phrase I've got for you right now is go with the flow. Go deep in the emotional, but realize things are going to happen. Things are moving. I do feel that you will get a job. We have to find out what's going on. So I'm going to do this real quick. Pendulum, will you work with me this evening? All right. Thank you. And Yadi wants to know, is she going to land a great job in July? And this stayed a very steady, very hard yes. So see it done, see it completed. Make sure you understand and start giving thanks for what's coming already. In manifesting something, okay, we need to make sure you're actually seeing it as a done deal. When my wife and I, we actually sold a house, bought a house, made several $100,000 in this deal, all within about 24 to 48 hours when we did this a couple years ago. And we just knew it was ours. We just saw it as done. We were giving thanks for it happening and not asking for it to happen. This is one of the things we do when we are truly trying to manifest. We actually have to, we're talking about some things now, and we have to slow down and not just dive into where we're going, and make sure that we're thinking about it and we're manifesting it right. And we're keeping our emotions out of it, because emotions can play a huge part. And that is part of it. So that's what I got for you, Yadi. Let me know, okay? And, let's do this. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, the All, the Mother. I need Michael to come in. I need Ariel to come in for Yadi to manifest and bring in this job. I know it's weighing on her. She needs something new and she needs some relief. Bless her. And in my power, in the power of everyone here, we are asking that her wish are granted and that her dream be fulfilled. Let her find peace in that. So mote it be. So you keep us posted and let's find out what's going on. Okay, Yadi? Wow. All right. Okay. Let me see where I'm going from here. And Cynthia. Okay, there we go. Let me see what I've got here. Cynthia's a 3. So, all right, Cynthia. I'm glad. I like that. Just give me cards. That's what I want. All right. And let's see what's happening. Tell me if you like this format. I just wanted to change some things up for a Wednesday night and do something. If you want to ask questions about tarot, why I do what I do, or different things, okay, please post your questions. I'm here. I do want to turn Wednesdays back into a more tarot-focused show and do readings and things like that. But I want to help people understand, if you have questions about how I'm doing tarot or what I'm showing or doing, ask them. I love to answer those questions. All right. So here we go. Cynthia is a 3. Shuffling these things all up. I'm going to put them here. Bring this back into play. Boom. Do the cut. And we are going to go 1, 2, and 3. Cynthia, we have strength. This is noticing that you've got a metamorphosis coming. See the butterfly in this? You don't normally see that in the strength card. All right. And this is the 11 in this deck. The 11 is that new beginnings multiplied. It's that 1 and 1. We don't add those together for a 2. Okay. So just think of the 1 beginnings, new starts, things like this. Squared, that power squared. We have the strength card here. And I know sometimes you start to feel tired, but you told me the other day you're starting to feel great. There is a change coming. It might not be happening as fast as you want it, but it's coming. And Spirit is saying with this, there is something you're going to be looking for. Don't miss it. Okay. Make sure you stay strong. Make sure you keep your spirit strong. Keep those spirit guides and angels close to you, and make sure you're having that and stepping outside, giving praise, burning candles, setting up whatever it is, but stay in that moment of gratitude. One of the things I noticed about this young lady here in this strength card, she's got blessings all around her. And look, like we said, somebody said tonight, it's the full moon. And lo and behold, we have a strength card with the full moon. One of the things the full moon is, it's a time to let things go so something new can come in. Bring that in and focus on what you want to bring in. The full moon is awesome. It's going to show you some different things. Don't let these things it shows you throw you for a loop or throw you sideways. Change is coming, and it may be some small changes, but as it hits, it's going to be great. And notice she's sitting aback the wolf, and the wolf is standing on the stone. Grounding, 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 Cynthia. This is what I'm really seeing for you is going to be very powerful. You're going to need your strength. There's going to be some things you're dealing with or whatnot. Let me put this here. All right. And we're going to do the same thing. Let's find out what spirit animal you need to be looking at, or their essence. That's basically it. Remember, there are spirit animals, totem animals, power animals, things like that. And what we're looking for here is for spirit to tell you what the nature of an animal is that you need to find and use in this situation that you're in. Look here, we have the emu. All right. Now, what does it say? Wow, with the strength card, look at what we've got here. This is a good time to go on a new adventure. Strut, strut, strut. Walk away. Now, this emu is turned to the left, which is talking about from the past. Maybe it's time to visit or to check out somebody from the past that you haven't heard from in a while or whatnot. But this emu head is up, striving, going on a journey. Use that as a good time to go on a new adventure. When you combine that with everything we talked about in this card, what a message. What a strong message. Be strong. There's going to be times you're going to feel tired over the next week or two. Get up and go. Dealing with that myself, I understand that very, very well. And like I said, many times, some of these messages resonate with more than one people and even myself. So this is one of those things. Be strong. Changes are coming. Have that spirit with you. Look at the spirit animal and don't be afraid to go on a new adventure. And here it comes flying in right in this card. Wow. Bangerang. All right, Miss Cynthia, that was really cool. That was really cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. Bangerang, everybody. And thank you for being here. Juliana, I want to ask about a really awkward connection that I have. I often dream about this old school classmate, and I really want to know why and what's the truth about this connection. His name is Gabriel. All right, very good question. All right, and Juliana, you're asking for a 3. A lot of 3s tonight. Here's what I want y'all to think about. Full moon, 3s coming in, and it's one of those that means we're going to create something beautiful. All right, so let's see what's going on here. We're going to start here with these cards. Bear with me. All right. Moving a little slow this evening. Let's find out what's going on. So, Juliana, I'm going to read this question again. I often dream about this old school classmate, and I really want to know why and what's the truth about this connection. His name is Gabriel. So here we go. Spirit, we need some answers to this question. Juliana has picked the 3. So let's see what's happening here. We're going to cut this deck. You know what? Here we go. I've been told to, how am I going to do this? 1, 2. There we go. 3. That's the way it came. I'm going to go with this. That's what Spirit's telling me. 8 of Swords. There is some attraction, but there's something interference, and you need to find out what's going on. Why is there this interference? There's some strings that need to be cut. One of the things I'm picking up, I want to ask you this. Are there some undone things from your previous connection with this guy? Are you allowing something else to influence you thinking about it? Maybe a current trauma where you're trying to escape the current trauma by looking into the past. I'm really picking this up, that there is something there, but this is on you and what's going on. And it's when we have the 8 of Swords, we are talking about looking at the past. Interference. Why is the past coming up so hard for you? And do we really need to be that attached to it? I'm really getting a feeling of it's time to be careful. You know, we look here, then we follow that with the 9 of Swords. Anxious about tomorrow. The 9 of Swords is my anxiety, and it's cruelty, being cruel to yourself, worried about things you have no control of. So here's the question. Do you know how to contact this person? First thing I want you to do is sit down, get a cup of coffee, get a hot cup of tea, whatever, water, all right? And I want you to ask your question to yourself. You don't have to bring it out here, of why you are having these thoughts. Is there a past connection, or is it trauma and you're trying to look for something from the past to heal moving forward to the future? I'm almost feeling like a shortcut. Oh, this relationship broke. Something happened now, okay? And you're chaining yourself to the past rather than dealing with now and walking alone. Be careful about stepping into a cruel situation and being so worried about the future that it causes you a problem. We have the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is talking about you need to bring on that masculine strength, set some boundaries in your real world. Now, I don't know if this person was a king type of personality or they are. Once you make up your mind that it's time to discover what's going on, then you have to be bold and set out and start looking for making contact. Nothing's better than communication and cutting right to the chase. My wife and I laugh, okay? Some of y'all know Jay from Gnostic TV. Him, April, and I were friends for going on 25 years now. One of the things we would do with people when we're doing sales, whenever we're doing, when we ask the question, I don't need a whole roundabout answer. It's yes or no, okay? Or do you want to go here or here? Keep things simple. And you need to do that with yourself. But when you have this conversation with this person, if you deem that that's what needs to happen, then you need to have that direct conversation. Don't be wishy-washy about it. You've been on my mind lately. What's happening? All right. Find out what's going on. I do feel that there's an attachment there either from you to the past, or what you have to be careful of is there's an attachment somewhere, and it might be on his behalf. And you want to be careful about getting involved with somebody that's already got attachments. So I'm really feeling like this is a trauma-related thing, and you might be looking to him for some healing. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know how that resonates with you, Juliana. Now, here we go. What spirit animal, and spirit guide should you be looking at? Should you be emulating in this? Let's find out, okay? Let's ask Spirit what you need to know. And again, we're going to go to the third card. 1, 2, and here we go. 3, the cheetah. All right. Get clear. Here we go. Get clear on your intention. stay focused, and move quickly to achieve your goal. Stop wondering why, sitting down, ask yourself these questions, an itemized list, like I said, of what's going on. And then once you make your decision, move on it. Make the phone call, find out, reach out on Facebook, however it is. But I want you to understand, remember the cheetah is an animal of speed, okay? I want you to see, are you hiding from something or running towards something? This is something you need to know and you need to find out. I am being told to pull one more card, so that's what I'm going to do. I cut the deck here and we're going to go here. Nine of Pentacles. Gain. If you just do nothing, I tell this to people all the time, even in couples counseling, therapy, things like that. If you're living in a dream world, okay, so to speak, of wondering, and you don't ask the question, how can you gain anything? This is going to be very important. This is the Nine of Pentacles. It's talk about manifesting something beautiful, making something grow in the real world. Now, notice we have flowers here. The sunflowers are out and shining. Its card is gain. You have nothing to do but gain peace of mind, okay, or possibly a relationship. So it's one of those things. Pull up the girl panties, all right, and say it's time to reach out. This person's on your mind for a reason. I want you to ask those same basic questions that we talked about, but then find out. Maybe spirit is trying to lead you down another path, but you have to make sure you clean up your own past first, or that's going to be tied into this new relationship. Hope that makes sense. All right. Let me know what's going on. Wow. Bangarang. Okay. Here we go. Let me get these cards picked up, put up, and find out what's going on. So, Juliana, thank you for asking the question. Great question. All right. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I can go into more detail. If you want to book a session, let me know and get down in below, and I will be glad to book a session. And we can go into a lot more detail and talk about this in a different way. All right. So, wow, bangarang. All right. Where are we at? All right. The new moon in Cancer on 6/25/25. A time to set intentions, release the past. Wow. Look at where that fits in with everybody I'm talking about. Trust your intuition and nurture new beginnings, love, growth, travel, and self-care. Manifest with purpose. Cynthia said at the beginning, this new moon is a powerful new moon. And what I want you to understand is this is, I didn't look. Did I say full moon before? This is a new moon. So, yes. Now, let's look at these numbers, okay? 6, we're halfway through, but 6 is about victory. 25 is a 7. And that 25 is about watching, giving thanks, observing, knowing what's going on, taking inventory of yourself and your calendars and to set the intentions you want. Now, it's not 25 again, it's 2025, which is 9, which is about, y'all have heard me say it, this is the year for manifesting, okay? Manifest, manifest, manifest. It's very important. So if we look at that, we have a 6, we have a 7, 13, and 9 is 22. 22, another angel number tonight. And I want y'all to look at this. 22. Think about this. Partnering with spirit, partnering with your higher self, partnering with the magical being that is you. Okay. This could be a time for relationships, but 22 comes down to another angel number. We have 11, 22, and 33. The only other number I don't add together is 13. A lot of times that's a standalone number. So in the 22, think about partnerships, working with people, understanding what's going on, how you're going to relate with duality and relationships, okay? It's going to be very important in this decision and how you move forward with it. So thank you for pointing that out. I appreciate it. And this is something very powerful. And yes, tonight, get outside tonight. Bask in the new moon. Say your prayers to the goddess, to the god, to whatever it is for you, okay? And that's what's going to be set up and go forth. All right. So let's make that decision. That is awesome. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Where am I at? Donna. Donna. Glad to see you here. Banger. Love it when the tribe is coming together. All right. Let's go through. I'm going to say this, Samantha, give me a number between 1 and 3. 1, 2, or 3. All right. That's how we're doing this tonight. I want you involved, your energy. Just don't pick one. Think about it and give me a number between 1, 2, and 3. So whatever you're feeling, and we're going to go there. So Donna, here we go. You're 3. Let's find out. Let's see what's happening. I just cut the deck. Bring this up. And 3. So we are going to go 1, 2. And here we go with our 3. We have the 3 of Wands. Man, I want you to think about this virtue. 3 of Wands, a lot of times in other decks, you will see this as somebody standing on the shore, okay, looking at their boats, either going out or coming in. One of the things the 3 of Wands is about is making sure you're spiritually, that you're taking action, that you've already taken some type of action, but be patient. Remember, patience is a virtue. This being patient is saying, all right, you've done some things. Now it's time to slow down and let spirit do their thing. Let your angels, let your guides help you come in. Be quiet and listen. It's very important in the 3 of Wands. That gets skipped a lot of times, creating something beautiful. 3 is taking action. But in the 3 of Wands and in what we have here is you've been juggling, you've been doing things, you take some actions. Now get back and enjoy what you're able to create and allow spirit to go to work in your life. Listen to what they have to say. Listen to what the guides have to say. And you're going to just, it's going to take you on your next step. So, you know, a lot of times when people start waking up, they shuck off a yoke of old beliefs and things like that. They get very excited when they see a new world, when they start waking up, not woke, waking up, okay, to the new reality, the new world that's out there, and accepting it. And then they're all like hyper. What do I do next? What do I do next? And a lot of times the biggest thing I have to tell people is slow down, be patient, allow things to unfold, because you're fixing to get challenges from a whole new realm. Look at the stars that are out. Okay. Look at everything's there. You can see forever. So you have to sit down. Remember, whenever you're trying to see in the dark, all right, you have to allow your eyes to adjust. So be patient. All right. Let your eyes adjust to what's going on around you. Allow your spirits, allow the spirit, the goddess, to speak to you. All right. And let them guide you. Follow your heart. Don't second guess yourself. Okay. Know what you're doing. You know how to do this. You're very talented. All right. So we're going to go here and now. Let's find out about your spirit animal. All right. Spirit guides, animal spirit guides. Here we go. And that was a 3. So let's find out. Okay. Cleve, I love your question. You're next. I'll get right there and we'll talk about it. Okay. Because yes, I love explaining this stuff, things like that. All right. So we will talk about it. All right. But just like tonight, I have no necessary madness. It's what spirit told me to do and to shake some things up. How to pull a deck, which deck. I have to let spirit talk to me about what deck is really working. So here we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, and we've got the peacock, Donis. Peacock. Think about that for a minute. Just let that absorb. Okay. Let yourself stand out and be noticed. We're juggling with fire here. Realize your power. Now is not a time. Yes, you need to be patient. You need to wait, but strut. Throw who you are out there. Let people see who you are. Okay. Spread your wings. This is your bangerang card, the peacock, and fly. Understand, peacocks don't fly a long ways, but when they do, or when they stand and they spread those wings, remember the tail feathers often look like eyes. And it's one of those things where I see you. What I'm really picking up right here now is you need to see you. And I want you to realize how beautiful of a person you are, the connection that you have with spirit, and how unique others see you. Don't get shy. Don't get bashful. If somebody approaches you with a question or something, be patient, but be you. Step forward, be out there, let people see what you are. Okay. That's going to be huge for you. All right. Wow. Bang around. Okay. So, Cleve, let's talk about this for a minute. All right. Here we go. I'm going to come over here. We don't need that for cards. Cleve, one of the things you can look up, go right online and look up tarot spreads. And where a lot of people will read spreads is they go in, they find a spread that they like the questions to. And like question one, you can do versions of we'll do a Celtic cross. We'll do the first couple of cards. Card number one would be like you in the situation. All right. So if I said, Spirit, where is Cleve at? Give me something that represents Cleve in his current situation. This is where I'm assigning a question, not a yes or no, but a question to a card in a particular spot in a designated spread. Now, who is Cleve in this situation? And look, we're right back to the Three of Wands. Creating, you're learning, you're finding. What you're doing right now is perfect. You're asking questions of things that you don't understand or whatnot. Now, what's crossing Cleve? So this would be, all right, the second card. And now we've given it a position. So what is crossing you? Meaning, what is your obstacle? The Prince of Cups. And one of the things we have to keep this in mind of what was the question? What is crossing you? And when we say the Prince of Cups, this is talking about that teenage spirit. Maybe you might be a little too emotional, looking for something too quick, maybe a little too passionate in that, and not being fully aware and fully grown. Be careful about making rash decisions, especially emotional ones. So this, if you're reading this, then there would be another card here, another card here, another card up here, another card here for just the basic of a what they call a Celtic cross. You would do these, but in each section, you can assign, all right, what's the root of the issue? What is the past? What is the near future? What is your strength to help you through this? Then there's other cards you can put. You can then also say, I'm going to do a one card spread, a one card, what do I need to know about today? Boom. And that's it. You don't have to get crazy, but you always have to remember what the card is relating to. And that is the question that you're asking. So it's how deep do you want to get into it? How much? I always tell people who are starting to read, keep things simple up front. I wouldn't do any more than 3 cards at the beginning, and you can allocate body, mind, spirit, past, present, future, any of those things. Me, them, us together. Keep it simple. But that is how you can, which cards are being pulled. Now, one of the things you will notice, and I've said this all along to people, nothing is written in stone. Anybody that tells you you have to do this or you have to do that is always when my flares go off. Because the whole idea is reading cards is as individual to you as it is to me. So you notice a lot of times I will just throw 3 cards. I may go 5 cards. It's what spirit and my intuition tells me to do. If I need to get some more cards that their spirits it will tell me, hey, there's more information here. You need to pull more cards. But I will just go with it and then look at the story. I will explain what I see in the numbers in the suits. The suits mean things. You have the major arcana, which are major life decisions, major things that are going to influence your life. Any of the other 4, the pentacles, the wands, the cups and swords, ace through 10, they're what we call mundane. These are everyday things that's supposed to help and help you through. And you can literally say, Spirit, I need to understand, what do I need to know for the remainder of this week? And you focus on that question. What do I need to know? And I will get in my head and have it already set. I'm going to pull 3 cards. So that might look something like this, where none of the spots have a designated amount. None of the spots have a designated question. The whole thing is a question. So it might look something like this, where I bring out 3 cards, I cut the deck, and where you cut the deck, how you cut the deck, how you shuffle, again, is on you. What speaks right, what feels right to you. So, what's going on this week? What do I need to know? I'm starting with the 7 of Cups. I'll pull all 3 cards. Ooh, I've got the Tower. Okay. And then I've got the 9 of Swords. So, whether this be for you or for me or for somebody out there, okay, it's an example. The 7 of Cups. One of the things to remember is we have choices, and you need to make sure we're making right choices. So I'm going to be presented with a lot of choices this week. You might be presented with a lot of choices, whoever this reading is for, because some things are going to happen. Some things are going to change. Remember I said minor arcana, major arcana. So something is actually going to occur that's going to cause me to have to shift and look at some things differently. There's some changes that are coming. So if it's something that's really jarring to me, one of the things Spirit is telling me is, don't get hung up in the past. Don't get hung up on, oh, what am I going to do in the future? Don't get hung up in the mind portion. Okay. So I can say, all right, I'm going to be making, if I'm not careful, all right, I make the wrong decisions, it's going to really put me in a place where the wrong decisions, I'm going to have to make some changes, and then I might regret them. Make sure I'm making the right decision. So when this change comes, it is for my benefit, and I'm not sitting there worried about the future. This is a very fast way to answer your question. Okay. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. And in my link tree below, I have a book, Tarot Simplified. Learn to read tarot in a day. Don't overcomplicate it, Cleve. It's one of those things where you need to learn. I'll be honest with you, it's just like reading a Bible. Okay. You can turn in a Bible and make your own religion if you just start picking verses. All right. Which is one of the reasons I generally like to pull at least 3, if not 4 or 5 cards. Sometimes y'all see me, I've pulled up to 10 because Spirit's driving me to say there's more of a message here. All right. And we've got a message for her or for him, and we need you to look at it. So when you do the cards, if you want to explore, I've given in the book, there's some examples of spreads that you can use. But one of the things I tell people all the time is do what feels right to you. You can also, it's choices. You know, a lot of people will pull in that Celtic cross. They will shuffle, cut, and then they pull all 6 cards right out of the gate. Okay. Well, the other thing you can do is ask that first question. Where is Cleve at in this situation? And that's the only thing you need to ask. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Boom. There's your card. And remember, that's the answer to that question. Now, what you can do is then concentrate on the next question. What is crossing me up in this situation? Hold that, lock it in, shuffle, 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 boom. You can reshuffle for every question you ask, particularly if you're using a spread that has different components to it where a card is on an indicator. The biggest problem I see when people are trying to learn a spread or to use a spread, they do not remember what the question was. What's crossing me? We pull up the sun card. Oh, everything's coming out. Nothing's crossing. No, the question is, what's crossing me? And it may need to sit back and go, well, wait a minute, this is a happy card. Oh, maybe I'm not looking at the happy things. Maybe what's crossing me is I'm so looking for something to make me happy, I don't see what I have, the blessings I have beside me. Remember what the card question was, and then correlate that card to that question. When you shuffle, my wife shuffles different. My wife and Bridget will tell you when they did ladies' night, they can't shuffle worth a damn. Okay. Their shuffling sucks. But, all right, the way they shuffle works for them. All right. They just can't do what I do because I grew up playing poker my whole life with a deck of cards in my hand. So when they're shuffling, like what Bridget will do, she'll actually pose the question. Okay. And everybody be ready. I think Bridget and I are going to be doing a special show Saturday morning, 10, 11 o'clock. We haven't worked that out yet, but I think 10 o'clock. And come on, ask questions, and you will see. One of the things Bridget does, Cleve, is she will literally start shuffling like in a hand over hand shuffle, okay? And keep shuffling, and she'll go, the cards that fall out is what she picks up. She stacks them up and she reads them and lays them out. She may not even lay them out in a certain order, but then she gets a whole general reading looking at the cards and takes a minute and comes up with a reading. My wife and I have done dual readings, and some of y'all remember when we used to do those on Saturday. You know, we would actually do dual readings with two different sets of cards. And what was funny was we would lay these cards out, okay? I could look at it and pick one thing up. She looks at it and picks something completely different up. It's all that, and they don't oppose. Generally, they go hand in hand, but it's like somebody saying, oh, here's another idea. So don't look for everybody to say, you read this right, you read this wrong. Grab your cards, go through them, learn what the cards mean, a basic, but it's very important when you're breaking in a new deck. My wife will tell you, we both do this. When we get a new deck, I've got a new deck up there now. I don't shuffle it right away. We pull it out, we cleanse it. We will then start pulling the cards, and I look at it and I feel it. I get, what is this card telling me? Because the King of Pentacles in this deck doesn't look like the same as the King of Pentacles in another deck. What do I feel? Where do I go? Okay. Do that. Start doing it, because then what happens is the artwork will start helping you piece together your actual visions, your intuition, and the messages Spirit is trying to give you. So that's a very quick rundown of how we pull cards and what that means and everything else. So I hope that helped. That's a flash thing. Check it out. One of the things in the book I talk about when people ask me, Rob, what's the hardest part of learning to read tarot? Putting the book down. Almost every deck comes with a book. Learning to trust your intuition, that you got this message and go with it. Okay? It's very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. All right? Be glad to do it. And we are working. I was talking with someone today. We are trying, seriously, I know I've been saying it, but we are seriously trying to put together a tarot class where I can help people do this. All right? So we'll see what's going on. And you just gave me an idea. Maybe we'll do it in a Zoom, in a couple of Zoom lessons or things like that. We'll see. Okay? But that's what's going on. So great question, Cleve. And I appreciate your question. That is awesome. I love answering these questions. Samantha, do you think that is there someone online that I have to cut off before I start a new yes. If you're going to start a new relationship, I don't even have to do this. Okay. You don't need something clinging from the past. Nobody does. That's one of those things where I'm going to give you a little old redneck sense. Okay. And then I'm going to give you spiritual and then actually scientific counselor advice. If you're looking at a new relationship for yourself, for that other person, for any relationship, there needs to be a clean sever of emotions. Doesn't mean you hate. You can still love. You can still care, but they have to move on. If you can't do that, don't put the other person through your past stuff. It's not fair, and you're not starting on a solid ground. So, let's look at it this way. Here, you had asked for a 1. All right. So you're picking a 1. All right. What do we got? Okay. Here we go. All right. So she did a 1. Did a 1. Let's go here. 1s are easy. All right. Let me bring this up so you can see what's going on. Here we go. One more shuffle. I'll cut. We're going to give you your 1 card. Spirit, remember what Samantha is asking. All right. And I know I gave some immediate advice. I feel very comfortable that advice is correct. But yeah, all this stuff about he's just a friend and everything else, knock it off. It's time for everybody to grow the hell up. Okay. If you're going to have a relationship and you want to establish a good, solid relationship, break boundaries of other relationships. Now, I say this, okay, and my wife will tell you, there will always be a feeling of care for the mother of my children. My wife would not have it any other way. Let that sink in. But I'm not emotionally attached to that woman anymore. That makes sense? All right. I don't worry about what she's doing. I don't worry about anything. Matter of fact, the last time I went to Colorado, me and her new husband hit it off great. I like the guy, nice guy. My kids like the guy. That's all I care. All right. If there's a problem with our children, we will deal with it together. But my love, where my heart lies, where everything else is with Gillian Lee. That's it. No place, nothing else. I'm not explaining. I'm not dragging them into my relationship. And you know what? They're not dragging me into theirs. Okay. So, yes, get out of this. Oh, we're just friends. I want to keep that selfishness. If you're really looking for a relationship, go into it from a pure state. Here you go. 7 of Cups. What is this at the top? Debauch. Make the right choice. This is about emotions. This is about feelings. This is about it. Is that a physical relationship that you just want to break where it's been going on and going on? It's an emotional relationship. If you're trying to start something new, you better make the right decision and let something go. Okay? Because you'll wind up drowning. See how your cups are falling? All right? You want to start something new. You want to start with that fresh. You don't want to be dragging old stuff around. Okay? If you don't think you want to let that other relationship go, make the decision not to, but to leave this new person alone. Choices, choices, choices. All right? I just got told it's what separates us from the animals. Okay? Is our ability to make decisions. So now let's bring in your spirit animal spirit guide and see what we've got here for you. All right. So here we go. I'm going to do it this way. Boom. And here is that 1 card. We have the mountain goat. Check that out. Let's look at this. All right. There's something out of balance in your life. So do whatever you need to do to correct it. Let that sink in. We're grounded. We're going to the top of the mountain. All right. You don't want to be lugging a bunch of stuff with you. If you can't let go of something, don't start something new, particularly with another person. It's not fair. Get grounded, be in your own relationships, know what's best for you. And if you're looking for if this first person is just an online thing, you still don't even know who they are. You still don't truly know them. You could be anybody online. Okay. I like to refer, y'all know I love to refer to movies. And I want you to think about this. The movie Ready Player One. If you're not a gamer, you probably haven't seen the movie, but it's a great movie. And it's all about people living in a gaming world. And this guy falls in love with somebody else in the gaming world. And his best friend online, who he doesn't know who they are, is warning him, you're in love with somebody, and this could be a guy named Chuck in his grandmother's basement. Online is not true dating. It's not true understanding. Get grounded, get real. If you're wanting to move on, take care of business, get your life back in balance. Don't be so codependent. All right. And then you can get rock solid, move on into a very good, solid relationship. That's what I got. All right. Great question. Great question. But and more people need to hear that answer. Okay. And I got news for you. Other people out there needed to hear that. So, God love you. You're just trying to do things and find some humanity in life and things like that. And I completely understand it. All right, let's see what's going on. Here we go. Seriously, 822. I talk myself out if two, LOL. I think two is it. All right, let's find out. Let's do a two. Let's see what card you have tonight, and we will go there. Let's find out. So two. I'm going to clear my head for a minute because I saw another comment and I don't want that dwelling. I tell you what. Who was just up? You're dropping stuff off on me too fast. Who was I? Seriously, 822. Okay, I'm going to come right back to you. But I saw something I got locked in on, and I want to make sure. So bring that back up in just a minute, Gillian. Thank you. All right, but will I find a surgeon, because I can't get this out of my mind right now, who will remove the bump I have? And we have three. Okay. All right. So let's deal with this, only because the comment got into my head and I don't think it would be fair. We're going to do seriously next. Okay. So seriously, 822, I'm going to come back to it. Right now, I'm going to go to Maria Amethyst, and we're going to talk about remove the bump. All right. Number three. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. The high priestess. You need to do your research. This is about understanding your intuition. And if you have a gut instinct about a doctor, follow it. Knowledge. Look these surgeons up. Find out what needs to go. This is about you using the knowledge and smarts that you have, and this will be able to come through. You're trying to get through a gate, okay? And this is that trying to find that answer. And Maria, I understand this more than what you know, okay? I want you to understand. Even had the talk today, I had to apologize dealing with the medical people because I got a little forceful. And I was told by the nurse not to apologize because in today's world, nobody will be an advocate for you in the medical world like you. If you're not comfortable, step through. Start doing your research. Find out who your insurance has that will cover it. Do we need to go outside of that? This is about using that personal knowledge and your intuition. So I believe you can, but don't take the first thing that comes along is what I'm being told, okay? It's up to you to do your research. No, she's got the Torah right in front of her. She's looking at knowledge and finding out. This is something you need to look up their credentials. What is going on with them? Find out what's happening, okay? So with the spirit guide going here, all right, and let's see. All right. What do we have? 3? I can't remember. 1, 2, 3. Whale. Okay. The Hawaiian owl. Your ancestral spirit guides are offering you guidance now. Pay close attention to signs and omens from them. What this is saying is be smart. Coming back here, knowledge, power. Look at this. Separate yourself. It's hard to separate yourself from this problem emotionally, but look at it more logically and from a knowledge standpoint, and you will come out of this okay. You will be able to take flight. You're going to be able to find your answers. And remember, owls are nocturnal with those big eyes, and so they can see everything that's in and around them, okay, in the darkness. And that's what we're talking about here. So just make sure you're doing everything you need to do, okay? And that will all pan out for you, Okay. Our most gracious and loving Heavenly Father, the divine spirit, that divine mother, Raphael, I am saying right now, go to Maria. We need Maria protected. I need healing on her. I need Michael to come in and be clarity with her so she can open her mind, get her emotions out of this. We need healing, and we need her to be able to look and find out what is going on from that standpoint so she can charge, be strong, and have this taken care of. So mote it be. Wow, bangarang. Okay, that's it. That's going to be the thing. All right. So do that. And you know what? This might be, if we're talking about on your forehead, this is that third eye chakra. If you're having problems discerning some things, this could be interfering. All right. So, yes, listen to the advice, listen to your gut, and find out what's going on. All right. Keep us posted. I'd love, if you need help, let us know. All right. And find out what's going on. Here we go. Let me go back to seriously 822. I taught myself out. If 2, LOL, I think it is 2. Let me see. We've got here. What do we got? And Rev Rob at seriously also was asking, how do you know what your spirit animal is? What we need to do is we need to do a session, and you can pull that in and find out what it is. I know mine. There's a difference between spirit animal, power animal, totem animals. Okay. Different things. What we're talking about here is a spirit is an animal guide that we can do. These things will change all the time, but we can sit down and do some reading and find out what your actual spirit animal is. Mine is a tiger, as always has been, but it also crosses over with a monkey. I've seen that from time to time where they will come in, where I have to be, where it's be strong, be powerful, stand up to anything. But then the monkey has to remind me to come in and be smart, be wise. Everything's not power. Sometimes we got to think and keep our mouth shut. Okay. That's what I've got. So we can talk about that. We can look at it, but it's not just a simple way. One of the things is I can, here's something we'll do. I'll do a show one evening where we do a meditation. Okay. And it won't take long. And we can find out as a group, and everybody can see what their spirit animal is. Let's plan that. All right. Maybe next Wednesday night. That's what we'll do. We'll use tarot or whatnot, but let's find out, because these are guides. All right. These are things to use. What traits in your totem animals? What trait in your spirit guides that are animals? What is it that you're looking to do, and what are they trying to see? Okay. So that makes sense. So seriously, he was on a 2, or seriously was on a 2. Let's find out. Seriously, here we go. All right. Wow, this night is kicking off. Okay. Let me go. All right. Here we are. Seriously, folks. No, here we go. I'm being smart. Okay. A smart aleck. All right. 2, 1, 2. Your message here is on the judgment. One of the things you have seriously that what's going on here is talking about awakening, becoming, taking the next step to enlightenment, to walking this new journey. And it's meaning that some part of you have to let go of. Some new part has to come, so the new you, your new thought process, you can embrace it fully. We have the 20 here, 2. That is about duality. That is about your relationship with spirit, your relationship with your own higher consciousness and your own self. All right. So in order for you to get to where you're looking to go, there are things you've got to let go of and embrace so something new can come down. That's what the 2 is for you right now. And ironically, we have 20, which is a 2. So here we go. 2 on the spirit animal. Let's find out. All right. One more shuffle. We'll do this again. And here we go. And we're going to go 1, and we're going to go 2. Let's just bring this right here. The goose. The goose. Take time to rest, recuperate, rather than continuing your striving. One of the things to achieve this, to be able to learn to let go, is to be able to learn to let your mind go, to get your mind here, start realizing you need to be in control of your mind and your mind doesn't need to be in control of you. It's time to take a breather. Look at these people. They're in the water. They're reviving. I tell people all the time, best way you can help yourself to come and settle down, all right, jump in the shower. If you can get in the beach, go to the pool, go to the river, whatever, jump in the shower. Let that water just drain and run and allow that to flow, all right? But the goose is saying, guess what? You want to take this everything to the next step, then you got to learn to stop worrying about what other people think. You got to stop learning to worry about maybe a religion you didn't choose, that you were born into, about things that you've been told over and over and over again, and we're afraid to let go of. Take time to rest, recuperate, rather than continuing your striving. That's very important. Wow, bangering. Love to go into more detail on that one with you sometime. So let me know. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Boom, come up here. And I see we have, all right. If I may ask, how do you develop a sense of intuition? Number one, the first step, this is very important. Everybody listen to me, is to realize you already have it. You're born with it. It's not something that certain people have. Anybody can do what I do. Anybody can do this. It's whether you're willing, like we just had the goose. Slow down, learn to listen, be able to open your mind to new ideas, new thoughts. Intuition. I want you to think about it. You've already used it before. When somebody says, I'm going to buy this, and you're like, I really want that, but I just got a funny feeling this isn't going to be good. And you turn it down and you're glad you are later. You just use your intuition. When somebody comes around and you're like, this person gives me the creeps. Okay. I'm going to walk to the other side of the sidewalk, to the other side of the street. I'm going to tell this person, no, we're not going out to dinner. You know what? Maybe, and Mr. Bruce posted something in Monday night about, remember, when you decide all of a sudden to take a left and go the pretty way, all right, and then you heard there was a traffic accident or something went on, that's your intuition. That's your gut. Be ready to listen. And the biggest thing is stop second guessing yourself. Most people do it. Now, here's some things you can do to practice it. All right. Keep your phone turned face down. Like, what? Understand this. Okay. Understand this very well. Your phone rings. It's a knee-jerk reaction to go pick it up. Stop. Breathe. Generally, you got 5 rings before they hang up or go to voicemail. All right. One of the things I want you to do is now focus on the phone and see if you can determine, before you turn the phone over, who it is that's calling you. You're not going to be right a lot of the times because your intuition has not been trained. You've not been listening. Okay. But once you learn to start shutting down, like we talked about with the goose, be quiet, recuperate, listen. All of a sudden, one day you're going to do it and you go, oh, I got that. Oh, I got it right again. Holy crap. And you're going to start waking up and saying, okay, your intuition you were born with. All right. All these gifts you were given at birth. It's just whether we use them or not. Whenever you start to second guess something somebody told you a long time ago, particularly about a religious belief, a thought, things like that, that little scratch, that's your intuition. Start listening, questioning, finding out. And that's one of the things. And just start practicing. Practice, practice, practice. Get a deck of tarot cards. Go through it like I said, then shuffle them. Boom. Before you even pick up the book, what is this card telling me? What's the feeling I get from this card? This is a big tool for tarot to help you sharpen your intuition. All right. Because I can tell you what the base meaning of the 2 of Cups is. All right. But that may not be the base meaning that we need in what Spirit's trying to tell you. It might be something to do with the artwork in that card. Take that card, flip it over, and go, just stare at it, look at it, and go, what's the feeling I get from this card? What is this card trying to tell me? Then pick up the book, all right, and start taking a look, because the book's not always right. That's the hard thing. Remember, what's Spirit talking to you about? Set your intentions. If you notice, before every show, I always ask, what is, please, your word, not mine? And then I have to trust my intuition that I'm actually channeling Spirit in the messages that I get. That's it. That's a big part of it. So, well, that's another good thing we need to talk about and work on. So, Cleve, that was a great question. Finally, Cynthia, when you are in a situation that doesn't feel right, fight or flight, that's yes, very, very well put. You have to learn to listen to your gut. That's what it is. And you know what? How many times have we been in a relationship that just turned out really crappy? All right. But we didn't listen to our gut. How many times you heard somebody go, well, there were flags and I didn't see them? Why not? Because you were emotionally involved, you were physically involved, and you weren't able to hear the messages Spirit had for you. You weren't listening to your intuition. Okay. And that's just one of the things there are. All right. So Cynthia, spot on. Great way to put it. And I appreciate that very, very much. Okay. So here we go. Let's find out. Let me get down here and get some things. All right. Where are we? Gillian, can you go ahead and take Cynthia's comment off? I appreciate it. And that's what we're going to say. So tonight, folks, this was great. I'm thankful that everybody was here. And Cleve, I love those questions. That's what Wednesday night's about. Now, remember, Friday night, 8:30, doing it again. And then might have Hillis on. We might just do some readings together. Again, no great teaching sessions or anything, but doing some psychic intuitive readings, channeling, and using tarot to do so. So Friday night, 8:30. But then seriously, go to try something. Something's just been telling me. And I think Bridget and I, and if y'all push my wife hard enough, the three of us could be on together. All right. But I know Bridget will be on. And we're going to do something on Saturday, but we're going to do it Saturday morning, 10, 11 o'clock. Okay. Eastern time. So be there, don't be square, be there, let's find out. All right. So everybody, thank you so much. Thank you for your time, your attention. Thank you for trusting in me. And I appreciate it. And remember, just like I said, Cleve, like I end all the sessions when we're talking about intuition, take what you want. Leave what you don't. It's okay. But leave having experienced some peace, love, and light. Bang, right.